Yeah, listening to Cess and C-Flash, always talking sports on Village Legends podcast.
Hit that like button before the beat drops. Don't wait till halftime.
Sophie Cunningham, just want to say hello. You're welcome on the podcast anytime. Shout out to you. You went viral this week, and we understand why. Thank you, Sophie. Appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Special episode today. It is episode 10. That's right, episode 10. We made it right in line with the start of summer. The summer solstice is upon us. It's June 22nd as we record this. I'm going to take you around the sports world. Myself, Cess, my boy C-Flash. We're here. We're in the building. We're going to talk NBA Finals. Game 7 is tonight. By the time you guys hear this, it'll be final. We'll tell you what we think is going to go down. We're going to talk about a little WNBA, tell you what's going on there. MLB's been hot. NBA had a nice trade. We're going to talk about quick NFL tidbits, a big retirement in the UFC, and a championship in hockey has been won. So C-Flash, a lot's been going down this past week. Let these people know what we got. Talk to them, my boy.
What up, good people? Here we go again. Episode 10. Anniversary. Cheers,
baby.
We made it. Again, to all the Village Legend listeners, we are very excited to get on this episode because there is some debates that we're going to talk about for this whole hour segment. I'm excited. My man Seth is excited, and we're going to make it happen. I'm looking forward to this first segment that we're going to talk about because it's breaking news all over the TVs and sport channels. Gamblers alike, people have lost their minds off of this. And I'm sure that the player that we're about to talk about has lost his mind as well. KD, the man, the myth, the legend, Kevin Durant, has been traded, folks, from the Suns to the Houston Rockets. For two players, I believe the Suns will also be looking at the 10th overall pick in the draft, this year's draft, 2025 draft, and 5 second-round players. Again, this is a major breaking news throughout the sports world. I believe Kevin Durant, he can deny this trade or he could accept it. He played 3 seasons under the Suns, I stand corrected, 140 plus games. So Kevin is still young. Let's be clear. He's got rings. Kevin has been an NBA most valuable player, and KD is a future Hall of Famer. Again, the only thing that stands in our way is getting an interview with KD and sitting down and talking with him. Right now, this is something that he has to digest. It's straight fresh, and we all are just trying to stomach it because it's just like, wow, this is during the time of Game 7, and we're about to look at the NBA Finals tonight. So to hear this, there's always something crazy, but this is a blockbuster trade. Make no mistake about it. Houston is doing some serious stuff. They just extended their head basketball coach, Ime Udoka, formerly the head coach of the the Boston Celtics, and he is a hell of a coach. He is doing some serious things, and for what I understand, they haven't really talked about his signing extension money wise, but he is looking to be one of the highest paid NBA coaches in the league. So they are doing big things out there in Houston. They are really trying to take it to the next level, and I'm looking forward to see more info on that. So that's what you think.
Good trade for Houston. I think it does make them a contender with KD. There were rumors he might come to the Knicks. Looks like that's not going to happen. But KD, 2-time Finals MVP, 15-time All-Star. One of the things I saw recently is the Phoenix Suns shot just under 35% off the dribble. And Kevin Durant shot over 51% off the dribble. He was the highest in the entire NBA. So he right away makes the Rockets better. Should be awesome to see. Going back to Phoenix is Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green. Let's see if Jalen Green can materialize. A lot of people have high hopes for him. And we'll see what happens, brother. See what happens, man.
You know, like I said, this episode is about debates. My good people, and it's just something that we're going to talk about and get it popping, because is it Kevin Durant that is a problem, or is it that the coaches or the coaching is a problem for Kevin Durant? What is going on that this man, this all-star, keeps getting traded? What's going on?
It's a good question, man. You know, the NBA is weird nowadays. It's one guy doesn't really get the job done anymore. You know, these guys make super teams for a reason. There's one or two guys that can take you down that road. There's two or three guys, I should say, that could take you down that road to the promised land. So I think teams have experimented with just having KD as the man, and it hasn't really materialized for them. When KD went and played alongside Steph, again, sort of those super teams, right? Then they gelled and they were able to get the ring that KD desired, you know? So that's what I think is going on there, my brother.
And I think also what plays a major part as well is being healthy.
True.
I mean, when Bradley Beal got picked up on an extension with the Suns, or it was a trade, I stand corrected if that is accurate. Forgive me for not being accurate if that is false, but I believe he was traded to the Phoenix Suns. You had Devin Booker, okay, is also a superstar. Let's not say he's a star. Devin Booker is a superstar. And to have Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant all on that team, okay, now let's reverse a little bit and pivot. You had James Harden when KD was with the Brooklyn Nets, and he had Kyrie. So it's like, what's going on? You know, like, this is the reason why I'm asking, because Kevin Durant, I got love for KD. He's a hell of an offensive player. I don't want to say that he's one of my top 5 defensive players, because I can't agree to that. But he's definitely one of my top 5 offensive scorers in the league. You know, and to me personally, I see this as things that just keep repeating itself. History keeps repeating itself. That's the word I was looking for. Forgive me. With these great offensive scorers and stars, and then, you know, the defense is just not there. Look what happened with Luka. You know, do we all think that was a foolish trade that the Mavericks made by sending him off? Yes, that was one of the stupidest trades they could ever do, or in basketball history. And then to have the general manager sit there and say he was not aware of the love or the status or the fan base love that Luka or he didn't realize how big Luka was in Dallas.
That was crazy. That guy was either lying or he was living under a rock.
Yeah, or he was smoking some crazy shit.
Subscribe now, because if KD can switch squads mid-contract, you can switch from casual listener to day one fan. No hesitation.
But I will say this, you know, where are we with the NBA? You know, what are we standing on now today with these stars? And they're linking up with other stars, you know, but I don't want to call it friction, because I can't call it friction. Is it just the fact that they're comfortable with their money? Has the money made them that comfortable?
There's something holding them back. We've talked about Harden specifically and guys like this. There's something holding them back from just getting to that next level, that championship level. Maybe that's just not them. I don't know. I mean, you know, KD has his rings though, so you know, we'll say that for him. But we'll see how it goes. I think the team definitely improves by picking him up. That's for sure. The Rockets should be fun to watch. we'll see what happens from there. Brother, anything you want to add with the KD stuff?
No, of course, like as normal, we wish KD well, and KD is, again, he's a superstar, and he's gonna make his own decisions, and we got to see how that goes. Like I said, a lot of our jaws are dropping, and then there's the ones that are agreeing to this, like, hey, that makes sense, because the Rockets are a team that's on the rising right now. They are looking good, the Rockets, and they had a hell of a basketball coach. So, that's pretty much it, Sess.
Nice. With that said, that'll be fun to watch next year. But right now, we got Game 7. Game 7 is upon us, my brother.
Woo, woo!
It's tonight. You guys, it'll be over by the time you guys hear this. So let us know in the comments who won. Now, we made our predictions already. Are we sticking with them? I mean, I think I'm still going. I think Thunder are winning this tonight.
Facts.
Yep. All right, so we're sticking with
at home.
We had them in 6 games. We're taking them now. It's Game 7. This is it. This will be something, man. I
mean, I know a lot of people are revved up because I know that I said it, and I've gone on record on saying it on Village Legends podcast, that basically, in a nutshell, I'm going with OKC in 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, now we're in Game 7. So was I accurate? No, but I'm sure a whole lot of people are not as accurate as me. But I think the same answer for me is OKC is going to win their first NBA title this year, and they're going to do it at home.
Mm-hmm.
Halliburton is a beast. That whole team, I love how they're playing. Siakam is got a ring, and he's bringing his experience.
Yes.
Nembhard is a beast.
Mm-hmm.
You had, the list goes on. Turner is a beast.
McConnell has stepped up.
Yep. The coach is a great coach. He has a ring when he was with the Dallas Mavericks. So we can discuss this on and on and on and on. The only issue that I see why I'm still sticking with my OKC even more is because of the simple fact that Halliburton is hurt.
With his calf.
He has a strained calf. And when they keep taking days off, we're looking at it as it's healing. It's giving them time to heal. Not when you have a significant injury on your or an ailment on your body. It will hurt you physically when you keep playing on and off. It's just like doing hot to cold. It will mess with you. Those who've played sports will understand this.
Yes, absolutely. So we're both sticking with our original picks, OKC. Then we got to figure out who's going to win the MVP. SGA probably the front runner. He's averaging right around 30 points a game. His teammate Jalen Williams, though, he's having a great series as well. 18.8, 7.8 rebounds, 4 assists.
Sorry, Seth.
Go ahead.
They try to compare him to Scottie Pippen, my brother.
Yeah. He's not quite there yet, but he is having a solid series. If by any chance the Pacers can come up and win Game 7, I think your boy Siakam makes a good case to be the MVP. He's averaging almost 23 a game, 8.2 rebounds. And he had a big Game 6. Halliburton's been a little bit stifled by the Cavs, only averaging around 12 a game. But should be interesting to see what happens in Game 7, my brother.
Mm-hmm.
We'll recap it next week, folks. We'll let y'all know. It's a brief one for the WNBA this week. We'll give you a quick recap. WNBA, by the way, folks, this should be your go-to source for the WNBA. Myself and my man C-Flash love the WNBA. We're big supporters and big proponents of the league. Ladies, if you want to get anything off your chest, hit us up. You're welcome anytime on the podcast. And that's that. Real quick, I just want to talk real quick about the top performers of the week. Kayla McBride and the Minnesota Lynx. She had 29 points yesterday with MPC out. Nafisa Collier's been out with an injury. She helped them lead the way to beat the LA Sparks, who've been dealing with some injuries themselves. Minnesota improves to 12-1. Also on that list, your girl, Paige Beckers, had an outstanding week, coming off a 21-point game, 7 assists, a couple steals. Also had a career-high 35 points earlier in the week. So shout out to her. And Alicia Gray named the Eastern Conference Player of the Week. She averaged 23.5, 6 rebounds, and 4.3 assists.
Great job, ladies.
Yep. So it's heating up. The Aces, by the way, as we record this, just beat Caitlin Clark in the Fever. We'll touch on that next week. We'll let you know how it's going down. Speaking of the Fever, my brother, this is just from me, Sophie Cunningham. Just want to say hello. You're welcome on the podcast anytime. Shout out to you. You went viral this week, and we understand why. Thank you, Sophie. Appreciate you. All right, my brother, we move on. WNBA is in the books.
The WNBA is hellified and great excitement on a ladies' end. They're doing their damn numbers, and
they are.
It's just, growing successfully each and every season.
I'm happy for them because they have, when you think about it, they've been around for a long time now, yes. WNBA. But finally, man, I don't know if it's just the stars that are in the league now or what it is, but finally they're getting the recognition they deserve. And they're must-see TV. I mean, they had, we were just watching before we came on. It was a sellout in that game we were watching there. So shout out to all them ladies. Welcome on here anytime.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Sir. Yes, sir.
We would love to sit down and have an interview. And we welcome definitely any of them stars that we've named from the WNBA to come on the Village Legend podcast. Absolutely.
Is Baltimore shipping arms to the Yankees? Drop trade targets in the comments. Who's moving before July 31st?
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. And that, of course, takes us to Major League Baseball.
Oh, boy.
Summer is upon us. The summer solstice was yesterday as we record this now. And things are heating up. Our team, my brother, has fallen out of the power rankings. The Mets are struggling. What's going on with them? Talk to me. The New York Metropolitans. I mean, we've had a little bounce back yesterday. We're feeling all right today, but we had a rough week. What's going on with us, my brother C Flash?
It was a topic of discussion this past week with ESPN. They were talking about some things with both the Mets and the Yankees, how they seem to have backslid and look like they've taken a nice tumble down the ladder. I just want to start, and I'll talk about the Yanks real fast in that order.
Go for it, brother.
The Yankees is just not hitting at all. The Yankees, they are not hitting the ball and scoring runs like they are expected to, and it's been hurting them. They lost 10 games, their last 10 games, but to that, they are still in first place.
Yes, they are.
But they're in their first place in a struggling division. The AL East is struggling, folks, and to all our baseball fans alike, they all know this. To all the Yankee fans, listen. There's no time to make excuses. You guys, the loyal Yankee fans that y'all all seem to be calling yourselves, you all know what the issues are. I'm not going to get into it too hard and bash you guys because, again, this is only June. We're in June, and I've always said this in Major League Baseball. Your record says what you are and where you're headed is really in July. So, again, the Mets are back in first place, but the Mets are struggling as well. It's just so funny because baseball is such a humbling sport, and you need all facets of your game to come through. It is a team sport, which we all know, but how is it that the Mets are struggling with pitching? When you looked at us on paper, well, I wouldn't even say the fact on paper, but throughout the first, month and a half or 2 months, our ERAs were looking great.
Yeah.
The Mets ERA was the best. And I'm assuming, and to my knowledge, it was the best in baseball. That's what if I'm wrong.
For a little while it was. You're absolutely right there.
So with that being said, they're going to fix these problems. Specifically my Mets and Seth's, our Mets, I'll say. We have help on the way. So I'm excited about that with Manaya and I think Frankie Montas. Montas and he's supposed to be starting, I believe, next week or this week coming up. So
he had a rough outing in AAA, so let's hope that's not a sign of things to come. But in his rehab, so let's see if he's ready. The Mets, I said it from the beginning. The pitching is going to be the real barometer for this team because we know we got the bats. And I said it from the beginning. When you look at the pitching on paper and you look at the names on paper, you go, Canning, Peterson, McGill. You're like, oh, man, we might be in trouble here. At least I do, So I think we're starting to see that come into fruition a little bit. So, yes, we do need Manaea. We do need him back. We do need these guys to come in and contribute and help out. Let's see what happens. It's all about the starting pitching at this point. Can't knock the bullpen. They've been strong. They had a rough weekend. A couple guys got roughed up a little bit, but it hasn't been Edwin Diaz's fault. Hasn't been the lineup's fault. Juan Soto just coming yesterday, 2 for 5, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. He's 7 for 18 in his last 5 games with another 3 walks to add to that. So
the hits are there.
The hits are there. It's just the pitching. Let's see what happens.
Yes.
We need some help. Now, we've talked about this before in the podcast. We have the chips. We have the the talent to get some pitching before the trade deadline. Let's see if Uncle Stevie Cohen, is ready to roll and make some good moves so we can, keep this train rolling.
Let me ask you a quick question about one of our pitchers, one of our starting pitchers. Is it time for us to start worrying about Kodai Senga?
It may be. We'll see. I mean, he's hurt right now, right? He's hurt right now.
Yeah, he has the situation with his hamstring.
Yes. Well, that was kind of like a freak thing. I remember that play. He was trying to run to first base. Pitchers don't do that a lot like they used to. They don't work on that a lot. So, he had to bust it, and he tweaked something. I'll let it slide. I don't know. I think we give him this year as a pass, and then we start worrying next year how he does. You know me, my rule's always give these guys 3 years. By the 3rd year, we should know who they are and what they're about. Yep. By year 3 in the majors, we should know who you are, what you're about. And year 3, to me, a lot of times determines what kind of career these guys have. So we'll see what happens there, my brother. Let's see. Mets, let's go, boys. Let's pick it up. Now, with that said, like I said in the beginning of this segment, the Mets have dropped out of the weekly power rankings on the Village Legends podcast. I'll give you a quick recap of the power rankings as we stand right now, June 22nd. Dodgers at number 1 on the power rankings. Dodgers are 7-3 in their last 10. They're pretty much hitting on all cylinders. They had a chippy, for lack of a better word, series against the Padres. The bench is almost cleared a couple times. And of course, Shohei Ohtani, the nicest guy ever, calmed everybody down.
And
he's prevailed. He sure did. He sure did.
Because it's turned to hate.
Yes.
I mean, truly, it's really turned to hate.
Yes. He took one right in the back and he said, everybody just chill. We got this. And hey, listen, if you win a series, you could do that. If the Dodgers were on the other end and maybe losing series, might have been a different story, but Shohei remains classy as ever. Number 1 on the power rankings are the Dodgers. Number 2, Detroit Tigers remain hot. They got a 3.49 team ERA and improving. That's number 6 in baseball, but they're getting better. Riley, Green, and company continue to dominate. At number 3, the Tampa Bay Rays. They've been hot, my brother. 12-6 in June. Junior Caminero, one of the youngest players in the game, is a beast.
We know.
Yes.
They beat our ass.
They beat our ass. They swept the Mets, and they've been having a good start to the month. At number 4, the Yankees, even though you mentioned how they've been slipping, while the bats have been dead, the pitching has come through for them. So they did drop a couple spots from last week, but they remain in the spot at number 4. And at number 5, the Chicago Cubs, probably besides the Tigers, the most consistent team on our power rankings as those young boys continue to do their thing, my brother.
Yeah, it's I'm not really shocked of the Power 5 rankings as they vary from week to week.
Yeah.
We are, again, and I've said this to my, that I've gone by and I live by. The position that you're in July tells a lot on where you're going to go, especially towards the end of the year. I mean, once we get towards the end of September and then head into October, because the goal is to make it to October and hopefully be in the playoffs. As of right now, we're weeks away from that, and I'm not panicking at all, nor should we. My New York Mets are doing a hell of a job, and I'm very proud of them, just like my man Sess is.
Yep.
We know that things are going to be looking real serious as we get to July. And I'm excited.
Smash that subscribe. MLB's midseason madness is upon us. From Tigers surprise to Astros trade whispers, don't be the casual who checks the score later.
Now, we're proud of them, but we did lose 7 in a row this week. And even though we're proud, we're having a very nice season, we did see some of the holes that this team has, and we've talked about it, the pitching and everything else. So let's see, and let's hope that they can get out of this little minor slump that they're in.
Yes.
And bounce back and take it to the promised land.
It's crazy, Sess, because real quick, you know how a lot of us, and alike, again, the analysts that speak on baseball and critics sit there and say, oh, the Mets they're looking kind of shaky, and oh, well, I mean, this yada, 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 all this hoopla, chatter. If anyone's seen the game yesterday, what is the one thing I think we made history on, Sess?
What is it?
6 homers.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Back to back to back at one point.
From one side.
Yeah.
So that lets you know the talent of what the Mets have. Left-handed hitters, 6 home runs. Okay? And 1 from the catcher, Alvarez. Okay? I was truly lost for words to see just how talented our left-handed hitters are. But you know what? It's a team that I feel, and this is for my Mets fans, okay? We should all feel confident and be very comfortable on what we're seeing, because this is a special team, folks. Special team.
Man, oh man. We'll see what happens, my brother. The Mets, as always, we live and die by them. And let's see what happens. Good call, bro. Good call. MLB, that rounds it out. You want to add anything else to Major League Baseball?
Nah, that's it.
Very cool. Oh, one quick tidbit. Francisco Alvarez, speaking of Alvarez, sent down to AAA. He has been sent down to AAA. He might be back in a week or two, but as of right now, this very moment, as we record this, he's on his way back down to the minor leagues.
Yeah. So, does it make sense? I have to say it does make sense.
Yeah, I think so.
Francisco has a lot going on. I want to congratulate him also with his new arrival and addition to his family. He just had his first baby, and he's dealing with a major league schedule that, should he be used to it? Yes, he should. But he's human.
Yes.
Francisco might also be letting the chatter of hypeness hype up and soup up his head.
Could be.
And he's getting real gassed. Francisco will figure it out. He has to, because Torrens is looking good. Not
only that, we got a kid in the minor leagues that's right behind them, Kevin Parada. Okay. He's right behind them. So if Francisco don't have the goods, next man up.
Yeah.
Next man up, unfortunately. Next man up. That's what it's going to have to be. But we'll see. He's still young. We got plenty of time to see what develops.
Yes. And I've gone on record, and me and you have discussed it even off record, that Francisco's hitting has to get better.
Yes. Catches a good game. He catches a good game.
He sure does. There was one play in particular that really pissed me off a little bit, but that's what they're training him to do today. I don't know if it's called framing the pitch as it hits the ground, But I was just like, why does Francisco always put his knee down and keep the other one up? When a lot of the catchers are always in a squatting stance.
It's probably just a bad habit. Yeah, at this point.
But then they said that in Major League Baseball today, they're doing that a lot with the younger catchers. It's a drill where they actually have you keep that one knee down because they feel that it's better defensively.
Wow, that's crazy. I could see that if the ball's in the dirt.
Yeah.
But to catch a regular pitch, that's crazy.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, Francisco, we love you, kid.
Yes, sir. We're fans.
We wish the best for you. And we hope that you figure it out because we feel that you're a talent to be reckoned with. It's in your hands, my brother.
And by the way, just as a quick aside, you and I, as former ball players ourselves, we're not going to tell you guys the level we played, but as former world champions ourselves, we know, and we speak from experience, that first year when you have a child, pretty tough when you're out on the ball field. Your mind is in other places. You're not as focused as you should. And myself, I also manage the team. I've seen it from guys straight up where the best guys in the world, but when you have that child and you're like, your stats slip a little bit because you got other things to focus on, and that's totally okay. But Francisco, you're in the major league, so let's go, baby.
Yes. Yes. Unfortunately, he has to figure it out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dak Prescott might still be healthy, but Kirk Cousins trade rumors, that's the drama. Subscribe now.
Real quick, before we get to your world famous segment, I know you had a couple of NFL notes you wanted to touch on, my brother. Why don't you take us there?
Yes, let's get to the NFL. The NFL is, well, I'll say this: we're approaching it. We so far we just hit the mandated mandated practices. Am I saying that correct? With the NFL, the mandated.
Yeah, they're like the practices you can't miss. I know what you're saying. Yeah, they're required. Yeah,
and if you miss them, you're getting fined.
Yeah.
And we ain't talking about no $5.
Yep.
You're getting fined $100,000 if you miss, the mandated practices
or mandatory or whatever. Yeah,
the OTAs.
Yeah.
So again, that's looking good, and that's been successful. I haven't really heard any bad news from any of the teams throughout the league. I just want to talk about real quick, and when again, players, young players, veteran players, don't be mad at the messenger. Okay, we're only reporting what we see, and again, we're not here to pile up or get on top of anyone and judge anyone. That's the last thing I want to ever do, is judge anyone, because I'm not perfect. My boy Seth is not perfect. Again, this is just the business of speaking or being part of the sports world platform. And Shador, we got to get on you real quick, my good young man. We see that you're living, and we see that you are you're living well. Shador, you got to slow down on them roads.
Slow down, Shador. Slow down, my man.
I know Pops probably dug in your butt about it because, again, the whole world is watching Shador Sanders. You are carrying the Sanders name. And Shador, you're young. So I personally will not throw daggers at you or want to yoke you up and say, listen, what are you thinking about? Are you stupid? No, I'm not going to say none of that. We've all been there.
What are you doing?
But again, let this be a lesson learned to you. 101 miles per hour. That means I don't know what type of vehicle you was driving, but you was really feeling yourself to the core. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, you did it twice this month, Shador. Don't let it be, a hat trick. That's not what this is about. You might hurt somebody. Be easy, young bruh. Be easy. Because at the end of the day, we want to see you succeed, Shador, and you will. But understand, you can't be breaking the law either. Again, I want to also touch bases and give a congratulatory shout out to CJ Mosley, it's been brought to news this week that he's retiring after 10 years in the NFL. He was drafted in 2014 by the Ravens and played for the Ravens 5 years. 17th overall pick in the 2014 draft. Nearly 1,100 career tackles with 12 sacks, 12 interceptions, 10 forced fumbles, 9 fumble recoveries, and 3 defensive touchdowns. He played also for Alabama, where he was drafted, where he won national championships. Career-wise, he played with the Ravens and then played with the Jets. 5-time Pro Bowl selection. And just again, CJ, I watched you when you played. I watched from the time that you came up, from the time now that you retired. And we are very happy for you and wish you well in your career. And however you want to go about it, young man, keep shining. Keep shining. Very proud of you. We want to talk about the Chiefs. One of the analysts from ESPN was speaking and said, it's a bust if the Kansas City Chiefs do not win the Super Bowl. And we want to make it a debate with our listeners and with my partner Sess alike. Is that true? Are the Kansas City Chiefs, all right, the big boys on top, is it a bust for them if they don't win a Super Bowl? What do you think, Sess?
It's a great debate. It's a great question. Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce. That would be the 1-2 punch for the Kansas City Chiefs. If you're asking me, is it a bust? I'm going to say yes. Yes, it is. They got 2 of the most talented guys at their positions in the league. They've built this team for many years to win it all. While those guys are there, they got to win it all. And if they don't, I believe they would agree as well that it is a bust if they do not win it all. That's my thing. What do you think, brother?
It's tough to say because again, I've gone on record saying this on past episodes, and it really comes down to this: the NFL stands for not for long. So on one side, I want to agree with you and say, you're right. They have all the pieces in place. They have the great coach, future Hall of Famer Andy Reid. They have the great quarterback, Pat Showtime Mahomes. You got the future Hall of Fame tight end, Travis Kelce, and his dynamic girlfriend, Taylor Swift, the superstar, the megastar. But, getting back to football, and that was just a little slighted joke, folks. They have so much talent on that team, and they have a future Hall of Famer defensive coordinator coach as well in Steve Spagnuolo, who won a Super Bowl with my New York Giants, our New York Giants. So, yes, on one side, I will say it is a bust. On the other side, it is tremendously huge, hard-nosed, hard-pressed to win a Super Bowl every year.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter how much talent you have on your team. What you are doing, other 32 NFL or 31 NFL teams are doing the same thing.
Yes. So you're saying it's not a bust if they don't win it all.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay. Very cool. All right.
And I think I just proved my point on it. I basically said I agree with you that it could be a bust. But I'm also stating my fact that it's not a bust if they don't.
It is extremely difficult.
Because each year is extremely difficult.
Yes.
And the last thing I just said was what they're doing, other teams are doing. So
Absolutely.
To prove my point, with the AFC West, you have the Kansas City Chiefs in there. You have the Los Angeles Chargers. You have the Denver Broncos. And you have the Las Vegas Raiders. So, out of that alone, in that AFC West division, you mean to tell me, Sess, that none of those other teams, the Chargers, Denver, or the Raiders, scare you?
No, they don't.
All right. Okay. Well, let's get to the AFC North. You mean to tell me that Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, and Cleveland, well, everyone is still a little bit saying, hey, bleep Cleveland. I will never do that. This is a professional team. You should never, ever underestimate any professional football team ever. No matter how. Listen, Cleveland is only missing a quarterback. I've said this before. They're missing a quarterback. They have everything else around them in place. So, I bring it back to you again. You mean to tell me Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens don't scare you?
Now that's a different story. That conference I would be worried about. They got some teams that could mess up the Chiefs' plans right there. Absolutely.
Okay.
Cincinnati could rebound very easily and be right back at the top of the division as well, fighting for something.
Who did we recently talk about that you put me on blast about? The Pittsburgh Steelers. They have their quarterback now.
They got him now. Yes,
all right? So do you think Pittsburgh is not going to protect this Hall of Famer?
They'll do their best. They'll do their best.
MVP, Super Bowl champion. All right? Cincinnati. Joe Cool. Another Joe Cool. All right? Joe Burrow.
Yes, indeed.
Let's keep it 100, folks. 100. So, again, I think I've proved my point on what I've been talking about. It will not be a bust. Everybody's just too hyped up because they've been used to seeing KC dominate. I'm not used to none of this when it comes to the NFL because the NFL players, the NFL teams, that is their job, is to produce great players every year. And right now, the AFC, I haven't even mentioned the Bills.
I know. Josh Allen. Yep.
Shout out to Josh.
Yep.
MVP. Josh Allen, the MVP of the league.
Yep.
So, will it be a bust? I ask you, Sess, again.
Listen, you said it's not, and I said it is.
Okay.
As long as Pat Mahomes is behind center, he has gone into that Tom Brady territory. When Brady was behind center, he was expected to win the Super Bowl. And if he didn't, what happened? What went wrong that year? So anyway, should be fun, my brother. Should be great. The NFL, a year-round sport as it is, as we stand today. Great job breaking that down, my brother. Ladies and gentlemen, when you hear that bell, you know what time it is. We got to talk about the squared circle, the sweet science, and all of its branches. See? Talk to him with that boxing segment, my brother.
Yes, my good people. We got to do it only the way we know how to. So, with the boxing news, we're going to touch bases with the Canelo Crawford fight that's happening in September. And the promoter, Turkey Alakish, has added a bonus to the fight for one of the boxers or one of the fighters that actually knock out the other. He is adding a bonus of course, money and to the other boxer. So he basically is adding an ante that he really doesn't want to see it go to distance. I respect that. I think that's awesome because we don't want to see a boring fight, especially those who gamble on boxing. They would really love to see a knockout. So he just basically made it more of a thrill to watch the fight and to bring more viewers on. So I'm proud of him on that. Also, be advised to my boxing fans and our Village Legends podcast boxing fans. It's also streaming live on Netflix, and I think that's going to be great. I'm probably getting more anxiety because we're coming closer to it. When July is here, before you know it will be September. So I'm excited about that. I want to give a special shout out to the man, and I'm switching to UFC also, folks, just in case you guys are not aware, we're switching to UFC on this one, who me and my man Seth consider the greatest. We consider him the GOAT. John Bone Jones, who has officially retired from the UFC as per President Dana White this week. And it's a jaw dropper, but at the end of the day, I feel I can understand why he's doing it. Seth, I know you have some words you want to add to that as well. And now we have the current heavyweight, because John Jones was the current heavyweight champion of the UFC, and it has gone to Tom Aspinall, and he is the current heavyweight champion of UFC. Seth, you want to touch up on that?
Absolutely. Congratulations, John Bones Jones. Pardon me, John Bones Jones, the greatest professional mixed martial artist of all time, the youngest UFC champion in history when he won his first title at 23 years old, two-time light heavyweight champ, one-time heavyweight champ, goes out as the champion. Like you mentioned, his belt will go to Tom Aspinall, and he will defend it from here on in. John Bones Jones, 28 wins, 1 loss by way of DQ, and 1 no contest. His career marred a little bit by controversy. He had some off-the-field issues domestically, and he also had some substance abuse issues in terms of UFC regulations and things like this. But none of that, and folks, I repeat, none of that takes away from his skills inside the octagon. My man was a jiu-jitsu expert, a taekwondo expert, a jeet kune do expert. He was tremendous. He could do it all. John Jones could do it all.
Also says, be advised and be aware that he came from an athletic family. His older brothers both made it to the NFL as well.
Awesome. So you could tell the athletic background was there. There will never be another John Bones Jones, in my opinion. Hopefully I'm wrong, because everybody would be so lucky to see that type of fighter in the future. Shout out to him. I got a feeling something or someone eventually will pull him out of retirement, as these guys tend to do.
Oh, yeah.
But I think right now he's going to enjoy himself and enjoy retirement. He wrote a letter to Dana White, as you mentioned, and he thanked all the fans and everybody else, for all the love through his career. So, John, we wish you well, my brother. All the best to you. Congratulations and happy retirement. Show, talk to us about how retirement life is going to go for you. Let us know.
I'll be honest, that would be beyond excitement, because you know what? I would love for us to go to Vegas to meet with you and sit down and have a podcast interview with you, John Jones.
Oh, word? We going to him?
I would love to go to him.
Let's do it.
If we can't do that, meet him down at AC somewhere. Nice. John Jones. Listen, it would be great if you come to the Village Legends podcast. We would love to, pick your brain. We love to really talk about more of your future, and also talk about, your greatness. So that would be great to have that happen.
Absolutely. And speaking of greatness, before we wrap up today's episode, we spoke about greatness earlier. Kevin Durant, probably one of the greatest scorers in NBA history. LeBron James now coming to the end of his illustrious career. There's been a huge debate lately, my man C, about is LeBron in the top 5 of all time? Where do you stand on this topic? And more importantly, who are your top 5 NBA players of all time?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because this generation, this young generation that we are in, and that we, I know my kids are part of, your children are part of as well. A lot of these young kids have lost their minds. There's so many great top 5, top 6 lists, top 7, top 10 lists that everyone has, even Stephen A. Smith. And we all respect Stephen A. Smith. I'm sure even Mike Wilbon and a lot of the NBA analysts that also go on and talk about their top 10s and top 5s. So I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm going to start off with the GOAT, and I'm never going against it. It's going to be Michael Air Jordan.
That's right.
He is still the GOAT. That's number 1. Then there'll be Kobe Bryant. Kobe was the next one close to Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And Kobe just was unbelievable. Rest in peace to Kobe, the Black Mamba, because at the end of the day, there are people who still disrespect Kobe's greatness. And I know as long as I'm still living, I just will debate you to the end. I will also go on to say number 3 would be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Okay. Number 4 would be Tim Duncan.
Ooh.
All right. Number 5 would be Magic Johnson. My number 6, I'm going to split that with 2 players. That will be the great Bill Russell and Akeem the Dream Olajuwon.
Nice, my brother. I see you added an extra spot there. That's all good. And I get it, because this is one of the toughest lists to come up with in all of sports, ladies and gentlemen. The top 5 players in NBA history. For me, I'm with you with the top 2, 100%. Michael Jeffrey Jordan. His royal airness is number 1 with a bullet. Number 2 is Kobe Bean Bryant. Kobe Bryant, my favorite athlete of all time. Nobody wanted to win more than Kobe Bryant, and nobody worked harder to win than Kobe Bryant. Shout out to him. Number 3, I got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the list. Kareem and his jump shot revolutionized the game at that time, and he was a NBA's leading scorer for many, many years. Finally dethroned by the man in question that we're talking about, right? LeBron. But Kareem changed the game. At number 4 for me, another guy who changed the game only because he was unstoppable, and that was Shaquille O'Neal. The Diesel is number 4 for me because the Diesel, shout out to Jersey, by the way, and Shaq was the man. He was unstoppable, and nobody could guard him. And finally, number 5, another guy who changed the game, and I'm with you on this, Irvin Magic Johnson, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest point guard in NBA history. His rookie year, he had to play center because Kareem was hurting, and he won the Finals MVP in his rookie year. That's how good Magic Johnson was. You all know about the great court vision and the passes. My top 5: Jordan, Kobe, Kareem, Shaq, Magic. No disrespect to LeBron. And I understand when people say he's the greatest. I get it. But see, we're not young bucks. We've seen it all. We've seen these guys play. LeBron James, as talented and as gifted and as blessed as he was with natural talent, was not the best basketball player that we've seen, and not by a long shot. And that's just the truth.
We've talked about it on previous episodes.
Yep.
You know, again, I just want to, make it clear that why we say Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan played in an era around a great amount of Hall of Famers that are in the Hall of Fame to this day. And if they didn't make it, I don't know what the reason was. But Michael Jordan played in an era where when he went to 6 NBA finals, he won.
He won all of them.
He didn't lose.
Never.
And he has the scoring title. He's one of the top, 75 greatest players
easily
of all time. And
all NBA first team defense.
Yes. And it's like, I want to add Scottie Pippen because I love Scottie as well. And if we were talking about top 15, 1 through 15,
yes,
top through 12, I would have been able to add these people.
Absolutely.
The list goes on. Okay. LeBron, you would be maybe in the top 10 or top 12.
Yes.
But there's so many greats. We're forgetting about Dr. J. Julius Erving.
Yep.
We're forgetting about Wilt Chamberlain.
Yep.
The list goes on.
Larry Bird.
It's so many. So we just can't even jump to the Steph and the LeBrons yet.
Right. Steph Curry, the greatest shooter of all time. We didn't even talk about him. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly, brother.
You know, so again, it's a discussion and a debate that will go on for so many years. This is going to make people so much money. Bottom line.
Bottom line, that's right. And hopefully it'll make us a whole bunch of money too one day. Indeed, my brother. All right. Awesome, guys. I think that was our extra point. Ladies and gents, thank you so much. Quick hits before we hit the birthdays. Shout out to the Florida Panthers. They've won the Stanley Cup. 4-2 in the series. The last game, 7-5-1 victory over the Oilers.
Tess, would that be back-to-back? They're back-to-back champs. Didn't they win last year? Last season?
I look it up because hockey ain't my strong suit. But
the Panthers won last season as well.
Shout out to them.
Back.
Shout out to them. Always nice to see a warm weather climate winning the hockey Stanley Cup. Sam Bennett takes the MVP of the playoffs, the Conn Smythe Trophy. 15 goals, 22 points overall. So with that said, the quick hit goes out to the Florida Panthers. Congratulations, guys. Now, folks, as we end up every week, let's real quick hit the sports birthdays. Happy birthday, Pistol Pete Mavericks. Pistol Pete, rest in peace, died in 88. Celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday, Clyde the Glide Drexler.
Okay.
One of Jordan's rivals. Another guy who just could not keep up with Michael Jordan. He was a great player, too. Happy birthday. Speaking of John Jones, happy birthday to Randy Couture, one of the best early heavyweights of all time. And Randy probably still could crack that top 5 in the heavyweight division. And happy birthday to a quarterback that you and I both respect, Kurt Warner, Super Bowl champion. Happy birthday to you. Great job. Yes, sir. MVP. Got the most out of his. And, of course, a God-fearing man. Bless him and his fam. Guys, episode 10. We could not have done it without you. And this is just the beginning. Just the beginning. We'll talk to you again, episode 25, episode 50, episode 100. Yeah. We'll be here, and hopefully you'll be there too. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. My man C-Flash is going to take us out as only he can. Hit it, C.
It's been a blessing to be able to sit here and talk about sports on our 10th episode with my brother, none other than Sesamil, my boy. Again, we have so much more. This is just the beginning. To all our Village Podcast listeners, we truly are thankful that you are all here and that you support us. And we have many more to go. So get ready, buckle up. We are just getting started. Have a great week. And as always, think sports.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Village Legends podcast with C-Flash and Seth, where the takes are hot and the receipts are always ready. Before you dip out, comment, like, and subscribe now. Or forever hold your peace. We'll catch you next episode. Stay legendary.